I've been looking for this little box for over a year, and it was in a cupboard that I've looked in many times, and we brought it out with us. It's light fittings to make lamps, and the idea was, we knew there was a carboid here, a big glass sphere, that might have been used in their winemaking. I suppose it was in the dairy, and I was going to make it into a lamp. But when we got here, it had gone. So I found a smaller one in the woods, which I cleaned up, but it broke. It was so thin. But now that I've found these, hurrah, I'm going to make 2 lamps. And what I've done is I've gone around the house and just looked for anything that this end will fit into. So it just goes in like a cork stopper. And that's what I've come up with. So these are wine flagons, and that fits in quite snugly in there and will be quite secure. So Mark's going to put some new plugs on for me, the French 2-pin ones, and I'm going to go and look for some lampshades in the loft and see if we can make a couple of nice sort of lamps, and those bases are really heavy, so they'll be quite sturdy and secure. So there are the completed lamps. I'm quite liking those. They'll be very useful in the house.
So it's a nice day, so I've got the tractor out and I decided to do a bit of repair work. The seat on the tractor has been wobbly since we've had it, so I've taken the seat off, and the plastic that was, or the seat cover that was on it, which was a bit of a bad way to start with. I've taken that all off, and I've got the frame from underneath it, the mechanism here in the workshop. And what I found is, on the side here, where I've got this bit of tube sticking out, there should be a bush. This one's got a bush in it. The bush from this one is missing. So I found this bit of tube, which is the right side to replace. Put that in there to make a bush. And then at the top here, I've just drilled this out. This should have had a pin through it, but the hole the pin was going through is about twice the size of the pin, so that was wobbling about as well. So just doing a bit of repairs at the moment, and then I'll put it all back together again. So I've done a bit of repair on the seat pan. This front edge was all rotten in here, so I've put a little plate in there. Don't look too closely at the welding, I'll run out of gas. So I'm just having to make the best of it. And then this side had a chunk missing out of there, so I've cut a piece and welded into that bit too, give that a bit more support. So now I just give it a quick spray and put some foam on it and cover it, put it back on its mechanism. So there we have it. Seat on, all lubricated up, cleaned up. And it actually does mechanism actually works now, which is good because that means I can drive up and down without getting bounced all over the place. I'm in the workshop today. It's a bit rainy outside, so I thought I'd come back to the box, the collector. So I've done a little bit of work on this unit here, which I made up last year. Just made it stronger and better fixed, so it's fixed in the box. And I'll put this right angle port. It's just made out of spare bits of pipe and what have you. And I've made this seat up here, which is where the blower is going to go. So got the blower here, petrol blower. So that sits in the little foot there, and then I'm going to put a couple of straps up just to hold that in place, and then the blower arm connects into this port here, like that, and then that goes on there. So this blower is quite a good system. So once you start it up, it runs, but you have a throttle control, and you can lock it open so it goes at full pelt. So that then blows the air down into the venturi, and that should suck up the grass cuttings. So I've done that bit. I've also made a door to put on the back of here so you can empty it. What I need to do now is cover that in a fabric so it works as a filter, so the air can get out but the grass cuttings can't. And the same on the top here. The more air flow you get, the better. So then I need to mount it on the tractor and pipe it up between the end of here to the tractor itself. And what I need to do is make a little collector to put on the tractor cutting deck. And then last year I also made this, which has been sitting up on the shelf, out of some wire and some polythene sheeting. It's basically a flexible joint I can put between the tractor and the box just to take some of the vibration and movement out. So that's where we stand. Whether it will work or not, it waits to be seen, but we're nearly there. So this is what I've made. Basically a box on the back of the tractor there, a leaf blower going into the venturi, a length of old ducting coming down to where the mower deck is, and then out of an old flue bend and some sheet metal I've made a connector to connect it onto the mower deck. Theory is that the venturi, the top here, should suck the grass clippings and blow them out the back here into the box, which I've got to put a filter of some sort on the back there and on the top here. And the blow that you get from the mower itself should help blow it up there. So yeah, just need to see if it works. So we're going to have to wait for the grass to dry a bit and then give it a go. Back in the workshop again, and I've got the tractor in here now. Slightly different plan this afternoon. I want to make a fixing up to put on the 3-point linkage here to mount the auger on. I've got a lot of fence posts to put in, so I want to be able to just drive along, auger down, and yeah, drill a hole. So my idea is to put something on the back here which I can mount that on. Yeah, we'll see, we'll have a go. So I've made a key frame up which sits on the 3-point linkage. So what I need to do now is make a fitting which will link that to that. I also need to make it so it's about 40 centimetres out to give me the extra height and depth to travel room. That'll give me a travel of about 65 centimetres, so I can get the auger to go in the ground 65 centimetres.
I've been looking for a doorknob for on the attic stairs. So the door that I covered in fabric, I now need something that's going to be in keeping with it, and that's what I found. That's one that's been dipped in vinegar, soaked in vinegar and scrubbed and then oiled. So this is an old one I found somewhere. So that's more in keeping with that door. At the moment it's got a very modern handle on it. This is an aluminium one, just a plain one. Just gives us something to put on the other side of the door on the attic steps that's going to be easy to use. But that's the one I was concerned with, something that's in keeping with the fabric that I've just applied, rather than what was on there, which was chrome. So that's the new knob fitted. Much more in keeping, that's great.